Leo escaped by leaving that flat. But when Leo's story ends, another person's life story takes a new turn, and her name is Maya. On one hand, there is mountain-like pressure of board exams in her life, and on the other, the cry of loneliness in the cramped condo life of the city. Just then, a stranger man becomes the new address of light in Maya's life. When Maya, to escape all that mental exhaustion of her life, held the hand of an unknown person from the digital world, which to her was like a new path of light. She didn't know that the path was actually opening a door to a living hell for her. The one she thought was her only hope and trust was basically a predator lying in wait on the other side of the screen. He used to come online only at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. and go offline before 5 a.m. However, Maya is a bit late in realizing this. When Maya starts weaving those colorful dreams of love in her life, suddenly it turns into a terrifying form, and one by one, the answers to all the questions of the story come forward. Maya was a hard-working medical student in Manchester. The time was the humid night of the 18th of November, 2024. Inside the small condo living room, there was a flickering restlessness in Maya's heart because the board exam was only a few months away. Maya lived in that small condo with her two friends. When her life was completely miserable with studies and mental pressure, she thought it wouldn't be bad to start talking to someone to change her mind. And just then, she met someone named Julian on Facebook. Julian was very smart and witty. In Maya's lonely life, Julian was like a splash of rain. When Maya lay on her thin mattress staring at the ceiling, Julian's voice would remove Maya's loneliness in the whole room. Maya sort of falls in love with Julian. However, Julian was a bit of a strange type. He came online every day after 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. and went offline before 5 a.m. They mostly talked in texts, sometimes on calls, but that too only audio calls. When Maya asked him to video call, he said his mobile camera wasn't good. Gradually, Julian's behavior began to change. He started pressuring Maya to send her personal photos. When Maya repeatedly refused him, Julian would get very angry. Sometimes he'd say, "You don't love me. You don't trust me." And sometimes he'd talk about hurting himself. Maya shared everything about Julian with her friends. Maya's friends advised her, "You don't know him well. Your acquaintance is only online. You haven't seen him in reality. And his behavior is also suspicious. Why does he come online only deep at night, and that too for only 2 to 3 hours? Why doesn't he come online during the day? And is he even a human or some invisible shadow? In this way, don't give him your personal photos. Later, he might misuse those photos." But Maya said, "He's not like that, and maybe he's busy with some work during the day, so he comes online." But what work Julian did, he didn't tell Maya either. As many times as Maya asked, Julian avoided it. And so days passed. Toward the end of December, specifically December 23, Maya decided to go to her parents in the Cotswolds, and she invited Julian to come home. She thought she would introduce Julian to everyone on Christmas morning and start a new life. That night, Julian came online at 3:15 a.m. and sent a message to Maya. "How are you, dear?" Receiving the message, Maya replied immediately, "I am fine. How are you? I had something urgent to talk to you about." Julian wrote, "What matter?" Maya wrote back to Julian, "Julian, I like you very much. I want to spend my whole life with you. I have also told my parents about our matter. Will you marry me?" After sending the message, Julian took a bit of time to see it, but no reply came from Julian's side. Maya started thinking that maybe Julian didn't like her. After almost a few days, Maya got a message from Julian's side. "How are you, Maya? I am your Julian speaking." However, it wasn't from his previous ID, it came from another new ID. "How are you, Maya? I am your Julian speaking." Seeing the message, Maya was overjoyed, and she replied immediately, "Where were you all this time? And why didn't you reply to my message?" Julian said to her, "We'll talk about that later, but I have something urgent to tell you." Maya replied, "What is it?" Julian said, "You have never seen me, nor do you know anything about me. Maybe after seeing me or hearing everything about me, you won't love me anymore." Maya told him, "Whoever you are and whatever you are, I have loved you all this time. I love you and I will love you, and I only want you." Then Julian said, "Now maybe many sweet words will come out of your mouth, but after hearing everything about me, you will immediately want to move away from me." Maya said, "I will do no such thing." Julian said, "All girls are the same. At the beginning, they say they won't do such a thing. Then later they change their minds." Maya replied somewhat angrily, "I don't know how many girls you know, but I won't do that. I am not like those other girls of yours." Julian said, "Okay, keep in mind that if you are like those other girls then." Maya replied, "Then you do whatever you want with me." Julian said, "Have you thought and said this?" Maya said, "I am saying this with full thought and consciousness." Julian said, "Maya, I've taken a screenshot of your text. Later, you won't be able to change your mind. If you are like other girls, then I will send you away from this world forever." Maya replied with a bit of fear, "Can you do such a thing?" Julian replied, without hesitation. Maya said, "Okay, do whatever you want. Now tell me what you will say." After that, Julian told her everything. His real name is not Julian. His name is Arthur. He is a catfish. His name, photo, work, citizenship, everything was fake. Even the photos he used were of a Canadian influencer. Hearing all this, Maya was completely stunned. She didn't know what to reply. The one she had loved all this time wasn't actually him. He was a fraud who talked to her by taking someone else's disguise. While she was thinking all this, Julian alias Arthur sent her his real photo, seeing which the ground slipped from under Maya's feet. One side of his face was completely gone. He looked hideous. He looked very dark, and he had no hair on his head. Seeing all this, Maya didn't send even one more message. Arthur started crying a lot in messages. He tried to convince Maya. Not getting Maya's reply, he started abusing her. But nothing worked, and Maya blocked him. Maya kept herself away from Facebook. After almost a year, life was becoming normal. Maya became active on Facebook again. Maya had started a new life, forgetting her old past. But she forgot that the past never leaves one behind. Similarly, Arthur didn't leave her. Just before Christmas, Maya was scrolling Facebook while having coffee at a lonely cafe in Cornwall. Just then, a message request came from Arthur. "The black coat suits you well, Maya, but has the coffee become a bit too bitter?" The cup fell from Maya's hand. She looked around but couldn't see anyone. Maya replied to the message, "Are you following me or what?" Arthur replied, "I have been following you since the day I first saw you talking to your friend Leo on a video call on the laptop. And I didn't find you, Maya. You brought me to your address yourself. When I used your friend Leo's laptop, I used to see you. When you talked to him on video call, I used to watch you from behind the wall of that dark corridor. Right then, I decided my next victim will be you. Maya told him. What do you mean, next victim? What do you want? Why are you following me? Arthur replied. You could have removed me from your life if you wanted, when I told you that once you know everything about me, you won't love me anymore. You could have rejected me then because I would have tried to forget you. But that reply message of yours, that whoever I am and whatever I am, you loved me, you love me, and you will love me, that one thing pulled me even closer to you. Maya replied angrily. But I don't want you. Have you seen your own face in the mirror? No one will love you. I hate you. Arthur said mysteriously. You girls are very foolish. You bring danger upon yourselves. Because you are foolish, you loved a devil like me for so long. It's my good luck that I found out everything in time and saved myself, Maya said. Julian gave a mysterious laugh and said, Since you made a mistake out of foolishness, you have to pay the price for that mistake, right? And who said you are saved? Maya spoke up. What do you mean to say? Julian said. Have you forgotten, Maya, the words of that night? I told you that after knowing everything about me, you would move away from me. And you said then that if you ever did such a thing, then I could do whatever I wanted with you. Maya said, Oh, so now you will try to rape me. Julian laughed and said, If I had the intention to rape, I could have done it long ago. I told you that if you moved away from me, I would send you away from this world. Remember that date when you first told me of your love? The 23rd of December, 2024. And today is also December 23. Only the year is 2025. I was waiting only for this day. Today I will set you free, Maya. Maya said angrily. Are you mad? Julian replied. No, I am totally bloody mad. The girls like you who hated me seeing my face, none of them are in this world anymore, and now it's your turn. It's time to run, Maya. Run, Maya. Run. Hearing this, Maya immediately blocked him and went to her parents' house. But no one was home. They had gone to a relative's house. Suddenly, a photo came to her phone, sent from an unknown number. That photo was of Maya's own front door. Along with it came a message. Where will you run now, Maya? Then started that mad-like banging. Maya, open the door, let me in. Arthur was screaming from outside. He started hitting the door with an axe. Maya went into the bathroom, locked herself in, and called the police. Outside, Arthur was shouting, saying how he had hidden in the ceiling of Leo's flat for months and months, and knew every personal secret of Leo's. When the police arrived with sirens blaring, Arthur had almost broken one side of the door. When the police grabbed him, it was seen that he had a sharp knife and some master keys. When Arthur was arrested, there was no remorse in his eyes. He just looked at Maya and gave a diabolical laugh. In the investigation, a bone-chilling connection came out. Arthur was a serial killer, but he lived his life like an ordinary handyman. He had master keys to many houses. Using those, he hid inside the darkness of people's houses and observed their lives, and through them, he collected the online profiles of various girls. After that, he used their own phones when they fell asleep. Sometimes he opened the lock with their fingerprints in a sleeping state, and sometimes there was no lock on someone's mobile, just like Leo's mobile. And in this way, using their own phone IP, he made fake IDs and talked to the girls he targeted. When Leo was in the Highgate flat, Arthur was actually living in a Secret Service tunnel inside that flat, which was hidden behind the kitchen cupboard. Arthur had been in Leo's house without his knowledge for several weeks. When Leo fell asleep, he used Leo's Wi-Fi and found Maya's profile from Leo's laptop. Using Leo's mobile, he created a fake ID named Julian and messaged Maya. Those two hands seen on Leo's door were Arthur's that night. Seeing Chloe in Leo's room, he had become furious with jealousy. Because of that jealousy, he wanted to scare Leo. He hadn't done this just to Maya. He had done this with many other girls before. But none of them are alive. He sent them all away from this world. And he used others' IDs for this reason because since no one had seen him or knew him, no one could do anything to him. And he used others' IP phones so that after the death of the one he killed, all the blame would fall on the one whose IP and phone he used. And in this way, day after day, he went on committing these terrifying serial killings. Arthur is now in a high-security prison, but in Leo and Maya's minds, the trace of that fear remains to this day.